display screen. Okay. All right. So, are the three of you going to continue on with your original plans?
Viper, no. I'm a big, strong person made of wood, so I'm gonna run directly at the fire.
Oh, good. Great. Wonderful.
Interesting. Do you just like take off at a dead run, or do you say anything, or?
Well, I mean, once it's very obvious that there's a big bad fire roiling in part of the city, I probably yell shit and start running. I mean, that's in the direction of the embassy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
V, Dorothy?
This isn't my first town fire.
You're not excited to go watch the pretty lights?
I would probably hinder more than help, unfortunately.
Hmm. Um, I wonder if I shouldn't send Gentleman Moose with you, Viper.
Um, well, I don't know if I had planned to use a bridge or not. It may just be faster to go straight across the river.
Just jump right in there and wade across?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
To be clear, it is not
Um, yeah.
wading depth for even the two of you. Like it is a. Like,
I assumed it was pretty deep because there's probably large vessels that
yeah,
move.
think of like the Thames, right?
Yeah.
So it's filthy.
Oh, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned that on a previous session. But there are barges going to and from, ferries.
It's probably best if you do run through the river just to put a stopgap against all those flames against your beautiful flesh.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's my plan is to go straight to where the business is happening. And either swim the river or jump barges and boats along the way.
Okay.
Okay.
Dorothy V.
I just take a second to be continually perplexed by Viper's life choices. And I'm gonna take the bridge. But I am gonna go to the as promised to the grad students, I think.
Okay, so you're pursuing the grad student lead.
Yes.
Listen, I just love big dumb heroes, so everything Viper's doing is just pure of heart, and I love it. But is it called the Punch Bowl? That bar?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. That's where I'm going.
All right.
Successfully split the party.
I know, once again, we've split the party three ways.
It's fine. It's fine.
I am used to it. I have practice. So I once had to run 2 missions at once. Okay.
It's a bunch of actors playing actors. We're gonna be fucking flighty. Like, what do you want from us?
Okay. Well, we're gonna handle Viper first because I suspect that might go
Yeah.
fastest. So,
Gonna be the most impulsive, certainly.
which are
Yeah.
you doing? Do you want to try and leap from like barge to barge across the river, or do you want to try and swim across? Because those are different checks.
Okay. Well, a little player information. Which would be which check?
Jumping and balancing is covered by acrobatics. Swimming would be
Okay.
athletics.
Then I am a much better swimmer than I am jumper.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you just like sprint into like or I guess you probably dive off of like some pier, right?
Oh yeah, just run right off a pier, dive in just like I'm in a race.
Do you float
Yeah.
because you're part wood?
Yeah. Oh, this is the thing
Uh-huh.
out of game. This is just the thing I learned when I was making this character. I looked it up, and there's almost no hardwoods in the world that are more dense than a human.
Oh,
Huh.
No, yeah.
Okay.
Fun fact.
thank you. I enjoy fun facts.
Okay. All right, so you jump into the water.
Hmm.
Alrighty. Okay. So we're gonna need an athletics check to see if
Mm.
you're how well you're able to swim across. Okay. Okay.
Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and roll. It's a natural 20.
Natural
27.
Nice.
Nice. Do you want to spend any action dice to make that a crit, or
Would that get me any significant benefit
we get you there fast?
other than just looking smooth as hell?
Okay.
Yeah, you know
Here-
what?
here-
I'm gonna do it. Yeah.
Oh well. Okay. Here's this. Here's a benefit for you. If you activate it, which you've already said you will,
Mhm.
as you dive in, you remember, oh shit, the professor's research is in my bag.
Ah, yeah, good point. Perfect time to roll a natural 20.
Yeah. So, are you just like holding it over your head as you swim across, or do you want to leave your bag on the pier, or what do you do with your bag?
What's a creative solution for this? How wide is the river?
Pretty big
It
river.
looks pretty
Okay.
wide.
So you're going through a river to a burning section of the city with the only copies of
Okay.
this.
Okay. Here's what I do. In retrospect, what I do is as I'm running away, I take my backpack off and throw it back at Madam V.
Cool. Great. Thank you.
I will allow that because you got that crit. Before you made that roll, I specifically looked up whether or not it says backpacks are waterproof. It does not say anything about waterproof backpacks. Yeah. Okay, so keep that in mind that you have none of the stuff in your backpack.
Right.
Whenever you get there. Okay. So you swim across the river, leaving just like boats shoved aside along your wake. You've definitely got ferrymen yelling at you.
Some of them are yelling for you.
Yeah. There's definitely some that are like trying to get you to get on their ferry because what are you doing swimming in this river? I think you definitely pass at least one person who has like their like traveling restaurant on like a small boat. Like they've got a small like stove set up.
Hmm.
And they try and sell you some food as you're like swimming past them.
Rice balls? Rice balls?
So you get to the merchant quarter on the other side of the river. The art center looms over the merchant quarter. The art center, to be clear, is the largest building in the city, even larger than the keep, and it borders the merchant quarter. That's what the number 4, quote unquote, district is. And yeah, you can see that there's fire here. What do you do?
Well, first I want to try and assess whether the embassy is in immediate danger.
Okay. I think that'll probably be an investigate roll.
That makes sense. It's 12.
But you have
Ah, that is true. I now have thoughtful nature from my level of emissary, which means if I fail an investigator sense motive check, I don't, and as long as I don't suffer an error, I still succeed. As if my roll was 20 plus my class level, which is 1.
Yeah.
So 21.
Yeah, it essentially ensures that classes aren't going to fail at stuff they're good at. It tries to solve the classic problem of the like hyper competent rogue, like rolling poorly and then just tripping, down a flight of cowbells. Yeah. So what you are able to determine from like looking at what's going on and listening and just sort of putting your senses out into the world is that the fire is not near the embassy, thankfully. At least not right now. You can hear the shout of crowds, angry shouting. You can hear the shouts of the Coast Guard trying to keep order. And you can also hear the sound of fighting in the streets.
I've stumbled into a class riot.
So, are you moving deeper into the merchant's quarter?
Yes.
Okay. So you go in, and are you like sneaking around? Are you just like heading straight for the embassy? How are you moving through this space?
Viper is completely unable to be sneaky. Just constitutionally unable.
Okay, so you're just making like a beeline along the main roads for the embassy?
Yeah. That's gonna be the route.
Okay.
That puts me in the middle of whatever's happening or not. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you go towards the fire first or towards the embassy?
I would like to get eyes on the embassy. I don't necessarily want to go all the way to it, but I want to look at it.
Okay. So you like pass along the street that the embassy is on, and you can see that the embassy is fine. There's no damage to it. The barricade that the Coast Guard had set up, the wooden like fencing, you know those sort of like the A-frames that have like the notch in the top for a bar to go across.
Yeah.
That kind of barricade. Those are still set up around the embassy, but there's no one here, and including the ballista that was here previously is also not here.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Yeah. And so you're continuing on towards the fire?
Yes.
Okay. So you head towards the fire, and as you get closer, give me a notice check. Let's see what you might be able to pick up as you're going.
Okay. It's 24.
Nice. Okay. So here is what you're able to pick up. It seems that like what you pick up is from people you pass in the streets. There's like small groups of people. Some of them are afraid, some of them are angry, some of them are armed. You pass the odd group of Coast Guard who are, they have like their shields and their truncheons out. Some of them have like pikes. And what you pick up is that a little while ago, well, you heard, I don't know if Dorothy would have told you what she had heard previously when you all walked through the to the keep, but you're at least certainly able to learn it now, that the Dirt Folk Guild has been overcharging the people inside the walls. At least that's what the people inside the walls are saying.
Mm-hmm.
At the very least, they're charging the people outside the walls much less.
Mm-hmm.
Whether, you know, they're underselling to the poor or overselling to the rich. And I'm using the term rich very broadly here because the merchant quarter, well called the merchant quarter,
This is like not all aristocracy. These are like
artisans and
the working class.
yeah, like this is where like the skilled trades are, so to speak. Skilled in quotation marks.
Right.
And sorry, no, what I mean by that is unskilled would be in quotation marks. It's the
Right.
quote unquote unskilled labor that lives outside the walls.
Yeah.
So yeah, they are overcharging. That information has gotten out. It seems like right now, people are not at all thinking about the rumors that they're sparked in the city. And that's not on anyone here's mind.
Okay, well that's probably good for us.
Yeah. So, basically some people got together. It's unclear like how it got organized, but a group got organized. They marched on the Dirt Folk Guild headquarters that's in the city.
Mm-hmm.
And then they burned it to the ground. That is what started the fire.
Mm-hmm.
The fire has spread, but as people cheered the burning of the Dirt Folk Guild's headquarters, the Coast Guard was unable to disperse them because of how badly outnumbered the Coast Guard is.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically it has become like coal riots here in this quarter. People are terrified they're going to freeze to death. That blaze in the Dirt Folk Guild was made worse by the fact that that's also where they store the coal in the
Oh
city.
no, that's where the stockpile.
Yeah.
They thought this out well.
Oh yeah.
If only I had gotten here 30 minutes ago, I would have
Yeah,
directed them to only burn the front half of the building.
Yes, let's burn the trade union to the ground. So yeah, now there's just like there's a couple of organized Coast Guard lines, but for the most part, it seems that they've been like broken down into pockets because of the like cramped, narrow streets. People like riders are able to just get behind them and just turn the tables on them. They aren't really able to form up much of like a pike line anywhere. And so the rioters have like been arming themselves with excuse me, whatever they can get their hands on, which in a number of cases is stuff they've pulled off of Coast Guard.
Mm-hmm.
But it appears that some of them have like, you know, they have like their hatchets for chopping wood, and they're like dinner knives and butcher's knives. You see the odd like sword here and there. So clearly, when the ban went up, not everyone turned their blades in.
Mm-hmm.
That or someone's been supplying blades to these folk. So yeah, it's pretty chaotic here right about now. Everything's sort of swirling around you. The fire's off in the distance, but it is spreading because the Coast Guard can't organize people to like form bucket lines.
Yeah.
If only a tall, loud person could be there.
So what are you doing, Viper?
Tall, loud, special character. I have a couple of personal priorities. One, it would be good to try and organize fire containment before more people get hurt. 2, I'm really concerned that the Coast Guard might be using those ballistae on civilians. And those are both concerns for Viper, and I'm not sure which one is more. You know what? I want to find those ballista.
Okay, that's your first priority.
Mm-hmm.
All right, give me a search check.
Okay. Not super good at this, but let's see. Youch.
That's a 6.
Ouch.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like amidst the chaos, you're not able to ascertain where the ballistae are.
Okay. That's unfortunate.
You spend a while running around the corridor, and you like see clashes between guard and rioters, and
Mm-hmm.
even a couple times looks like groups of rioters. There's some looting going on, but not like primarily.
Yeah. Okay. Oh boy. What are the waterworks like in the city? Are there any?
Yeah, this is like a city built on academia, and they would pride themselves on the ingenuity of their water systems. So there is like a sewer system. It's not just like gutters that people are dumping their slop into.
Right.
We dump our slop into the river. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it definitely empties into the river, the sewer system.
I don't suppose there'd be any convenient aqueducts / pipes that I could just break that are near a fire, huh?
Let me think about that.
I'm trying to play to my strengths here.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say that there's. I think that's probably an investigate roll.
Okay. That I can do. I rolled a 4 again, which gets me a 12, but that is going to be a 21.
Yeah.
Thanks to my special skills.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're able to like piece out that there's a number of buildings that sort of have like their eaves troughs function as aqueducts. It's this, as I said, the university prides itself on its clever solutions.
Yeah, that's cool as hell. Let's smash it.
All right, what are you going to use to break it?
What are they made out of? You know what? It doesn't matter. I have infinite punches.
I don't know why that tickled me just right.
As opposed to finite punches, the numbered punches.
Well, you know what? The concern is if I use my spear or my shield, that the spear or the shield could break. But I think my fists are actually tougher.
Okay. All right, so I know you are going to be very persistent as judged by the number of punches you have access to.
Yeah, we can cut away from this scene with Viper just punching the hell out of a stone aqueduct near the fire.
Well,
I mean, she's literally taking 10.
Yeah.
yeah, I was going to say like it sounds you can we're going to do athletics here.
Okay.
And the question is like do you want to try and do it quickly, which would be a roll, or
Mhm.
do you want to do it like more slowly and thoughtfully, which would be taking 10 or 20?
I think I'm probably taking 10 would be the most appropriate to how Viper's feeling right now. Like, yeah, in a hurry, but also I don't want to like flood a building that's not on fire for no reason.
Mm-hmm. So you're
So
gonna...
spend some thought on it, but not like hours worth.
Okay, so when you take 10, this requires twice the normal time.
Hmm.
And when you take 20, it requires 20 times the normal time. um, okay, so you're going to take 10 on
Mhm.
this. So what is your total athletics bonus?
7.
7. So you get a 17. Okay. So yeah, it takes you a while, but you're able to like rip a section of like this building's aqueduct out of its roof after a couple of tries. And you dump some water on the area near the fire, which at the least will slow it. And with the water continuing to pour onto it, it's going to block the fire from spreading this way, which I'm going to say is towards the embassy.
Okay.
Um,
So if I've at least created a fire break, that's mostly what I wanted to do.
Yeah. All right. So we will come back to you later. All right. V or Dorothy, which one of you wants to go next?
Whatever.
All right, V. How about you then?
Okay.
So where are you going?
I'm going to where the two. I'm going to the physics lab to see if the 2 grad students are there. 2 grad students whose names, classically, I have forgotten.
Lily Rembrose.
Just gonna write that down. Yeah.
And Jakaya Markai.
Okay. Cool beans. Thank you very much. I'm gonna go and find them.
Okay. Let's see. Give me an investigate roll. Let's see if you can find out where they are as you're asking around about them.
Investigate. I would love to give you an investigate roll the second I find it. Here it is. There it goes. It's a 16. So that's worse.
pretty good. Yeah. Okay. You find out that they are at the student pub on campus. They are not, in fact, at the physics lab.
That's fantastic. I will go there.
All right. Let's see. So this pub is called the Cider Tree, and it's like a basement pub. It's under one of the administrative buildings, essentially. It's definitely not designed for anyone of your size. As a reminder, the university was founded by Saurians, and so most of the buildings, especially the older ones, are sized to them. So humans, elves, and Saurians are able to enter them fine. Rootwalkers and giants have a harder time with that. But you're able to squeeze your way in there. It's just uncomfortable. And so in asking around about Lily and Jakaya, you got descriptions of them. Lily is an elf, and they have teal skin and green hair, and they've got a slim, sort of skinny body and a slouch. And Jakaya is human, and he's got a large body, and he also has a slouch, and he has pale skin and blonde hair.
Typical grad students.
You see the two of them sitting at a table inside of this pub.
Now, what was my game plan here? here's the thing, their bosses I've just arrested. I suppose that's as good a thing as any. Yes, I would like. I'm going to first get myself a drink from the bar, and then I'm going to sit at the booth with them.
Just this giant just moseying up cozy next to them casually.
Don't mind my hoop skirts.
I've drawn them in. I've made my silhouette a little bit more sleek.
So are you like, they're sitting across from each other, and they've got like paperwork on the table in front of them along with like some drink and food.
Mm-hmm.
And are you like sitting down at the end of the table, or are you squeezing in the booth next to one of them and like trapping that one essentially between you and the wall?
I think that the most practical thing would be to sit on the floor at the end of the table.
Okay.
So I'm probably still at like eye level with them doing that, but yeah.
It definitely takes them like a couple of seconds of you sitting there for them to realize that you're there, because they're so deep in their whatever they're writing.
What are they writing? Can I see?
Yeah. Let's see. They are not writing about Sparked, to be clear. I think they're grading like work from like undergrads.
Great.
It's like physics research, probably about the movement of the stars.
Truly fascinating stuff. Not what I was hoping to speak to them about, though. Right. Yes. Lily and Jakaya. Yes.
They like what I think Lily starts, and then the two of them look up at you, and Lily says, "Yeah, who are you?"
Oh, I'm Madam V. It's lovely to meet you. I was actually wondering if I could talk to you for a little bit about your research.
Sure.
Fantastic, fantastic. How long have you been experimenting on the spark in the basement?
Jakaya definitely like spits his beer all over Lily and like all over the like papers in front of him, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And he just starts like looking for something to wipe up the mess with, but all he's got is like tests in front of him and like
Just
essays and the stuff that he's trying to save. And so he just like picks it all up and like puts it on the seat beside him, and then like takes his sleeve and starts wiping off the tabletop.
Mm-hmm.
And while he's doing that, Lily's like also trying to save their papers and put them, and says, "What are you talking about?"
Oh, I think you know it very well. I just had a very enlightening conversation with your professor on it.
This is gonna need an impress check.
Okay. It's the one thing that I am very good at. That's a natural 20, plus 4, that's a 24. And I will absolutely add a die to make that a crit. Thank you.
Okay. So I think Lily's like, "Professor Emos told you about that?"
Certainly did.
Huh. I thought that, I guess the dean okayed it too?
Yeah, they were there as well.
Huh. Okay, well, shoot, what do you want to know?
I don't know.
Are you a criminal? You have to tell me. I was caught for a week.
Heck. So I would like to know Um, how frequently do you receive test subjects?
Zacchaeus is, it can vary wildly. Like, sometimes it's months without them. Sometimes we get like 4 in 1 week. I'm guessing it probably. You know about the whole like hidden hand connection, right?
Um, sort of, but I would love a from your perspective what that is like.
Oh well, like the fucking mob gives us our test subjects,
God.
and so I guess like some weeks are quiet and some weeks are busy, and so the busy weeks I don't know, I don't know anything about like what's going on with like murders.
You're all going to jail.
I don't know.
Oh my god. Um, what are your responsibilities at the to this endeavor?
Well, we just take notes. Like, we observe along with the professor. We take notes. Um, we burn the bodies sometimes afterwards. Pull the levers that control the room separators. That's, that typical grad student shit.
Oh, you mean the victim crushers?
We commit murder and do unethical testing on live subjects, Science.
Right, the typical things. Yes, of course, of course.
Burn the corpses and then crush up the bones, blah, blah, blah.
How long have you been doing this?
Well, when like you start your thesis and you're like working on it, and then you ever have those dreams where you're like in a hallway and then they just seem to get longer and longer the more you look at them and like the more you walk down them?
Oh, I don't dream.
No.
I don't think
But
either of them.
I can imagine. I can imagine what you're. Please.
Yeah, neither of them have like any idea of what to say to that. Well, it's like that, I think.
Yes, dear, but a date, perhaps.
Oh, God. They both look like they're in their like early 30s. And Lily says, well, I've been a grad student for I think it's been about 15 years. And Jakaya says, I've been doing this whole thing with the professor for like about 6 years, and been a grad student for like 2 years before that.
No, you'll pardon my ignorance. That seems like a terribly long time to be a grad student. Is that typical too?
Remember what I said about like the hallway just like lengthening as you like it just sort of
Is this a for-profit university?
you just sometimes the thesis. Have you been a student at the university?
I have. Yes, did I do my I think I did. I say that I did my master's there. I think I did.
I don't recall.
It was in singing. Yeah, in opera singing. So, yes. I have.
Oh, you're a humanities student.
Christ.
Eat my farts. Gonna go into jail.
Yeah. So you can imagine how out of touch I am with the closed doors of academia, as I have been a professional opera singer for several years now.
Oh yeah, I guess studying that stuff is different. So yeah, things. I I don't know how to explain it to you. Like I don't know much about music. It's good. Music, I mean.
You don't have to explain music to me. I've got my master's in it. My question is, I wonder perhaps because, well, here's perhaps a better question. Are you the only two grad students, working on this project?
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So that's probably why they've kept you for so long.
Uh, yeah. I mean, from what I understand, this thing with Larry was going on for a while before I started, and they brought me on because they needed another pair of hands and they trusted me. So
How much trust do you have to garner to become a part of a deeply illegal process like this?
look, we don't really like using the I word. Uh, I don't know.
Dubiously ethical, perhaps? Does that fit better for you?
Yeah, that works.
All right.
I don't know if they like. I don't know why I was selected, frankly, other than like the boss likes me.
I, truly, our fields are not so different after all. Um, I don't know what I came here for, y'all.
You wanted to see if there was a connection between the grad students and the contamination outbreak.
Yeah.
Just ask them if they're criminal.
Well, I know that already.
You heard what they said about the humanities.
um, right. So you don't you just get imports, correct? You don't export these after you've done your sparked nonsense with them?
What? Oh goodness, no. Wait. Every single subject that has met Larry has then been terminated and then disposed of.
Hmm. Have you met your subject dealer before?
Decent?
Yeah.
Yes, we're there when she delivers the subjects.
Does she ever take things from the lab?
Not to my knowledge.
And you two are the ones completely in charge of disposal, correct? No one else?
Occasionally, the professor handles it or joins us, but other than the three of us, no one else does anything with the terminated subjects.
When was the last experiment?
About a month ago.
That doesn't. Interesting. Well, thank you very much for your time.
So what's this about?
Oh, you're both extremely under arrest.
Wait, what? You're a cop?
Yes.
Oh shit. I almost paid off my loan.
Liar.
Oh my god.
You can't lie to a cop.
You can't lie. Certainly not about something as sacrosanct as student loans. See, I don't know. I guess, like, I don't know that that Viper said to the professor and the dean said our neck of the woods. So I'll just I'm gonna arrest these two.
Do you have manacles?
It's funny
My
that you should,
backpack.
it is in the backpack. So yes, I have Viper's manacles. Yes.
Viper, how many pairs of manacles do you have?
Just the one.
It has 4
Oh my
arms and
God.
2 heads.
Yeah, I'm just like, to be clear, neither of them like, actually, give me a sense motive roll. There,
Brilliant.
V.
Okay. That's here. It's God. It's very. It's 13.
13. Okay. Uh,
Should maybe get better at reading people. That seems important for
Okay.
acting.
all right.
Depends with the style.
So yeah, yeah, they are like concerned, and they're gonna come with you. You're a cop after all.
Cool. Great. Awesome. Then yeah, we're gonna walk down to fucking the keep, I guess. Best
Okay.
idea I've got.
So how do you like manacle them?
Ooh, you can manacle them together and then hold them.
I was thinking that, yeah.
Sling them over Gentleman Moose like saddlebags.
Oh my god!
By their wrists?
That's so painful. No, I will put them on Gentleman Moose, though.
Give them a little joy.
Yeah.
Holy shit! You're Gentleman Moose's owner? I didn't know Gentleman Moose was a cop.
It's a new development.
No one really owns Gentleman Moose, let's be clear.
We are friends, yes.
Okay, so you're just taking them to the keep yourself?
Guess.
I like to think Madam V is also this kind of confused and unsure. Like, you're under arrest?
You might say she's of two minds.
Hey.
Hey.
Okay, so I guess unless there's something else of note that you wanna do.
That's all I got.
Okay, so you take, yeah, actually, you bring them to the keep, and like, it's almost empty. There's like the desk guard here, and like that's it.
Ooh.
I heard there's like a riot or something going on.
What do you? Also, you can still see that fire blazing away in the east end of the city, especially now that it's gotten dark.
All right. I'm gonna go up to the desk guard and be like, got kind of quiet in here, didn't it?
Yeah, everyone's over in the merchant quarter trying to put down the riot.
Riot.
Yeah, there's from what I've heard, which I mean, I'm still here, so I haven't heard as much as whoever's over there, but it sounds like there's some coal riots going on.
Well, that ought to burn out quickly, won't it? Do you have an extra cell for these two?
Yeah, sure. And gives you, goes to give you the keys, and then realizes, hey, didn't your friend have the keys? She never brought them back to me.
Well, it's just highly inconvenient, isn't it?
Things have been a little confused around here the last couple hours, as you might have noticed. I mean,
That's-
quiet now, but
That's very true. You don't have just the one set of keys then. That seems extremely secure.
well, no, the commander's office has another set. It's just a pain in the ass to go all the way up there. I was hoping that you had them. I can go get them.
No, I think perhaps maybe I should just take them to the embassy. Thank you very much for your time.
Well, all right.
But probably more secure there at this point. Begging your pardon, of course.
Hmm.
Are we turning the embassy into a jail?
I don't know what we're doing, buddy.
Just locking everyone into like the pantry.
You don't have the jail upgrade yet for the townhouse.
Turning
Oh
the
my
embassy
God.
into a criminal rehabilitation center.
I have some experiments that need to
For-
be done, so.
Hey, you know, turnabout's fair play. Yeah, I don't. I'm. V's gonna pace here for a little bit. If you could cut away to
Yeah, sure thing.
that'd be great.
I was
Thanks.
just wondering where you were going to go. We weren't going to actually follow through on that scene at the moment.
Sure.
But if you need to figure that out. Okay, so Dorothy, you're going to the punch bowl?
Yeah.
All right. So, you get to the punch bowl and it's tiered setup. It seems a bit quieter here than it has when you were last here.
Mm-hmm.
A bit emptier. But Page End is still up at their table up on the highest tier. You can hear the like thwack of meat on meat as two people fight in the pit at the center of the bar,
It's my favorite kind of thwack.
and it, as always, smells of beer and sweat and a hint of blood in this place. So you go up to Paige.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Their bodyguards lets you through to them, and they say, "Ah, Ms. Dorothy, to what
Hello.
do I owe the pleasure?"
I believe I might have some information that you might be interested in.
Indeed. Well, what is it?
Well, you said that you would be interested in finding out who might be smuggling in very particular types of contraband. And I know who it is.
I see. I'm guessing this will cost me something.
I'm feeling generous. How about we work together with this?
What do you have in mind?
Well, this person happens to be a member of a social group of yours.
Go on.
And I suppose that I would be interested in obtaining them for questioning. And I think that you would be interested in questioning them as well. So why don't we question them together?
That sounds reasonable to me.
Of course, I can't really do much questioning if I'm working 17 hours.
18?
Oh, all right.
But
I'm very inquisitive.
I am willing to take a couple of hours off of your debt for this information.
All right.
How does 3 sound?
It sounds like you don't really respect my time.
Alright, roll haggle.
Fuck!
Can my rat roll haggle instead? She's better.
Well, if it's any consolation, they are not a merchant, so they don't just have haggle 10.
Okay.
9, and I'm gonna roll one of my action dice. No, how do I do this again? Sorry. Roll slash.
Slash roll
Oh, slash roll. Okay.
space 1d20 plus your modifier.
It'd be 1d4. I wish my action dice was 1d20. So that's an 11 unless appearance bonuses count with that.
What's your appearance modifier?
2.
No.
Okay.
Okay. So, funny thing, looking through the various stats, the guild boss actually does have Haggle 10, but I don't think that Page End does. So, I'm going to lower that, but they are, perhaps unsurprisingly, still very good at deals. Also, I think they have an ability that might apply here. I'm going to have to check what offer they can't refuse does. Which I'm,
Doesn't sound great.
Okay. Where is it? Offer they can't refuse. Oh, when coercing, your incentive modifiers are always at least extreme. Okay. So they're not coercing you here, so it doesn't apply. Holy smokes, they got a natural 1.
I'm gonna activate that.
Oof. Okay. So, what did you get?
I got
An 11.
11.
Okay.
I'm activating their critical.
Well, a critical failure sets the price at 300%. Oh, when a buyer... Let's see, they're the seller. Okay, so 300%... Wait. Are they the buyer? Yeah, they're the buyer. So they said 3. And so then it'll cost them 3 times as much. So
18. No, that's a 9. I know math. I'm not gay. Wow.
So
The humanities. What we study around here.
somehow you manage to talk circles around them in this bargaining period, and you get you by the end of it you've talked them into like giving up 9 hours of your work for them. So you've cut the work you owe them in half with this deal.
Well, or it could just be that they realize that the more hours I work for them, the more hours they have to deal with me. Staring at them.
So I think finally they like slam their fist on the table and they say 9, all right? That's it. 9.
That sounds wonderful.
Now tell me. Tell me. Tell me who is bringing the spark into the city.
Well, it's decency.
Their eyes go wide at that. And they say, I will not be joining you for questioning her.
What's the matter? Too old to play with dolls?
She is one of the fingers. She's the one who handles violence. I have no interest in attempting to take her prisoner. I value my life.
I thought you were one of the fingers.
I
Are you not
am.
as powerful?
In civil matters, we have equal vote in the hand. However, well, she would undoubtedly have no interest in trying to out-smuggle me or perhaps out-intel one of our colleagues. I have no interest in trying to outfight her or her people.
But she did outsmuggle you, didn't she?
There is a difference between smuggling one item and smuggling an entire operation. And you will not goad me to my pride.
Then how can I goad you?
You cannot. I will not. Things are not pretty. The hand exists so that crime does not turn on itself and turn this last refuge for life into a bloodbath. And I am certainly not going to be the one that initiates a civil war in the hand, especially not one which I cannot win because my people are not soldiers. They can fight, but they are not suitable for war. And that's what this would be if I went against decent. Make no mistake. Is there anything else?
Would it be advantageous for you if one of the fingers were cut off?
Unlikely. I have no interest in getting into the trades of murder and assault. And that sort of chaos, well, I don't know what the procedures are in her branch for replacing the leader.
I don't think you're allowed to say branch about a root person, Rocker.
Her department, then.
I have root walker friends.
God. Lord.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, thank you for your information. I'm sorry that I'm going to have to question her alone, but I will see you again sometime soon.
Where do we find them?
I wish you well on this venture, if only because you still owe me 9 hours of work.
If you wish me well, you might as well tell me where she is.
Roll impress.
Yeah. Ten, and I'm gonna roll my last action die because that was not good.
You can just press the up arrow and that should...
3, so 13.
Okay. This I will make a resolve roll for. 10. Okay. believe that she can most often be found in a warehouse in the docks. The West Docks, to be precise. That is where you are like to find her. That is also her home turf, if you will.
And I will. Thank you so much. I'll see you around, cutie. And I leave.
They raise an eyebrow at that farewell.
Now to find Gentleman Moose.
Okay.
It's not in the physics labs at all.
No, still at the keep. I think she decided on harrying the desk guard into getting the keys from the commander's office and doing the part and procedure.
Okay, so you left the students in the jail?
Mhm.
Okay. So you do notice that when you are there, the cell that previously held the dean and the professor is empty with the door open.
That desk job is... That desk guard is not good at his job.
Did you move these two prisoners?
No one's... I don't think anyone's come in or out since, things got crazy here.
That doesn't reflect very nicely on you, my friend.
Look, things have been real confused here.
You
the
have
last couple
one
hours.
job.
I do not have one job. If you'll note, I am the only one here. I have been looking after everything.
I guess the job has won you.
The contrary, I have all the jobs.
God. Then it certainly...
How did they even get out? Wait, who's missing? There's no one supposed to be in this cell.
He saw us bring them in, and then we filled out the paperwork.
We did fill out the paperwork. I did
Oh,
anyway.
right, yes, you did. See what I mean?
Terrible at
It's-
your job!
Things are madness here right now.
Okay, well, you clearly can't be trusted to hold prisoners. So I'm
Oh,
gonna
fuck
take
you.
Listen, you're very harried. I understand your predicament. There's no need to swear at me. Thank you.
He points to the six grad student security guards. And it's like, they're still in there.
Yes, very well done. We're all very proud of you. I'm taking these two.
Damn,
to
can
the
I just
embassy.
point out the dean's fucking cold, just leaving him there.
And I will come back when this facility is perhaps better staffed and you are not at your wits' end. Thank you and good day.
Just grumbles at you.
Great.
He made me go upstairs and get the key and takes the people out anyway.
I am pretending not to notice.
So where are you going?
To the embassy.
Okay. And Dorothy, where are you headed?
I'm just looking for Gentleman Moose.
Okay. I'm guessing Gentleman Moose is going to be taking one of the bridges across.
Mhm.
Okay. So you're able to spot Gentleman Moose like at the larger of the two of the Salasso bridges, Dorothy. So you're able to meet up with V again. You can see that there are two people on the back of Gentleman Moose alongside V.
What's the story here?
Oh, these are the grad students, as mentioned.
They kind of like awkwardly wave at you.
You know, the ones that were participating in unwilling experiments against sentience.
Yes, I do know that. What are they doing on your moose?
They,
Well,
they hold up their hands, which are like manacled together, and put them back down.
well, the keep is useless, as I've discovered. The other two, are not there anymore, and there isn't a place I can think of that is better to keep them, at least for now, than the embassy. So I'm headed there. Would you like to go?
Yes, please. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
You seem just not as calm as you usually are. Let's say that.
Don't you? I mean, haven't really thought that a jail could keep people with experimenting on human subjects, and then we've also lost the like 1/4 of the research that was gathered from murdering people.
Yeah, it's not great, and
I is on fire.
I really thought they would be at all competent, but perhaps that is my mistake. You know, I see the best in everyone, all right, or at least I try to. Well, with any luck, all this will be a very temporary problem, and we can go back to some sense of normalcy when the morning comes.
Hopefully.
This conversation taking place silhouetted against the roaring fire.
And the screaming in the distance. Yeah.
I thought it would burn out by now. Do you want to drop them off and maybe how about with the fire effort?
That's certainly a thing we can do. Yes.
Okay, let's
Let's do that.
lock them in the pantry and then we can go.
Are the bodies still there? Fighting?
Yes.
Good. Great. Wonderful. Well, they're very familiar with them, so it should be just totally fine. Like being at work. And V smiles at them pointedly.
Both of them pale at the thought of being like locked in a pantry with sparked corpses.
It's a reasonable response.
I suppose.
Okay.
So yeah, we're gonna gonna find some buckets, gonna load up Gentleman Moose with them, gonna try and help with the effort to get the fire down at least.
Okay. I'm just gonna roll one die to see how much the fire has spread in the time while Viper was creating her fire block. Alright. Woo! Okay. That's bad. That's a 6.
As much as it could have.
Yeah. I rolled a 1d6 because the way that fire damage works in Fantasy Craft
I forgot about this.
is that it's kind of wonderful because I mean wonderful in the way that the rules work. Not necessarily that it is wonderful for y'all, because like you can just treat it as just lethal damage if you want the simple version, or if you want to get a bit more complicated, it can set people on fire. But the full rules involve propagation of said fire. And so when something is on fire, it does 1d6 damage per round that it is on fire. And on top of that, each round that a character object remains on fire, If the damage, or the GM rolls a 1d20, and with a result equal to or lower than the damage the fire spreads to the immediate scenery. So the scenery is already on fire. So unless put out, a scenery fire spreads 5 feet in a random direction every round per the deviation diagram. So this is, I was just sort of like giving a rough idea of how much the damage is increasing by. Because when something's on fire, the fire gets worse over time unless you're working actively to put it out. And so the fire damage increases over time. And so with a 6, the fire damage has increased and has spread more intensely. So, I think that if y'all look at the map, and you can see the merchant corridor here, right where the 5 is, you can see that there's a street that goes, like, splits the merchant corridor in half, just about.
Mhm.
So I think that, like, just about everything north of that is on fire. And basically everything south of that is saved by Viper's fire break. Luckily, the art center was made impressively out of heavy stone, and so has not caught fire. Likewise, it has not spread beyond the wall to the east into the ramshackle refugee camps beyond the wall. So it is in fact just the north half of the merchant quarter that is burning. Now, whether or not it reaches the crafters district, that'll probably depend upon whether or not anything stops it from crossing the major street there. But with the rioting going on, that seems unlikely. So, let's say that the two of you on Gentleman Moose are able to spot Viper, like, breaking aqueducts to create a fire break.
Batmaning around rooftops and
Yes.
pipes out.
Let's
Clean.
see. But I think that in doing so, because you are so close to the Fire Viper, you're going to take some heat damage. Okay?
Great.
So, you're going to take 2d6 heat damage over the course of this time.
That's pretty significant.
Yeah, but it only comes out as a 3.
Okay.
Almost the lowest possible roll. So, that becomes subdual damage.
Okay, so heat damage is different from fire? Damage?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so subdual. Subdual and 3. Okay. I have marked 3 subdual damage.
Okay, so whenever you take subdual damage, you need to make a fortitude save equal to DC 10 plus half your total subdual damage. So DC 11.
Okay. Fortitude. 15.
Alright. So you are not fatigued by all of the, like, heat that you're working in the face of. Okay, so the two of you spot Viper moving from roof to roof, smashing eaves troughs, which is undoubtedly, as we established, functions as the, like, city's water moving system. So there are people who, you know, they're whatever running water they might have is now defunct thanks to your actions, but a small price to pay to not have their homes burned down, I would imagine.
I can only hope.
I think they'll understand.
We'll see. People can be ridiculous.
That is true.
Okay, so Viper, you can see V and Dorothy approaching along. No, it's just the two of you because you two locked the grad students in the pantry.
Yes.
Okay, they are approaching on Gentleman Moose.
Where is the embassy? Which direction are they approaching from? The
They're
south?
approaching from the south.
Okay. I'm standing on a roof and I yell down, "Hey,
Hello,
it's
Viper.
on fire!"
We can see that. How do we help?
Well,
Gentlemen.
I've got it stopped on this side, I think.
Fantastic. Wonderful work. Very well done. What else do we do?
Dorothy was about to say something.
Oh, Gentleman Moose is the tallest thing in the area, right? In most areas in general, but
There's probably a couple buildings in this area that are like
Okay.
taller, but
okay. Well, I would like to sit on Gentleman Moose's antlers and use that as a vantage point and use my whisper spell, which can now target two other people at a time, and use that to like coordinate the effort.
okay.
So like, because the spell is local, which is we described as the length of a university campus.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, so just from my vantage point, I'm gonna see, I guess, people down the line, try to pick out who the authority is in the line, and then try to communicate the messages to.
Okay.
And also try not to cause a psychotic break for anyone with voices suddenly appearing.
Okay.
That's secondary objective.
Yeah.
All right. Give me a search roll. See if you can find someone who looks like they are an authority figure amongst the rioters and Coast Guard that are here.
It'll just be the fanciest hat. So that is a 12.
A 12. All right. You managed to spot Sergeant Mantha.
Okay.
The one from previous. She's like basically got a small sort of L-shaped group of Coast Guard with like pikes and shields, and is trying to
To like
hold-
stab the fire?
no
Oh no, there's rioters.
Yeah.
right.
trying to hold back rioters who are throwing like bricks at them, and like menacing at them with like their butcher's knives and like probably chair legs and whatever they might have. And meanwhile, like the city is burning nearby,
Right.
but you're
But what-
not because you didn't roll well enough. You're not able
Yeah.
to spot someone amongst anyone else.
But what is her hat like?
It is just like a fairly simple like metal helm.
She'll
like,
have to
like
do.
a barbute.
I'm sure you already know this, Christine, but there are rules for impressing and intimidating crowds.
Oh my god, that's right.
Are there?
Mm-hmm.
Of course there are.
I forget. You're right. It's fantasy craft.
Page 75.
So sometimes it's important to swear compel several targets. Sort similar to a team check. In the case of a mob with no clear leader, use the lowest resolve bonus of any character in the crowd. Otherwise, use the skill bonus of the most influential leader. Any results targeting the crowd affect every character in it.
Okay, so I guess this would be a coerce check.
Well, it depends upon like what your message is.
I mean, it's definitely going to be intimidate.
um,
And
I'm from atop of the highest perch. I know it's not as tall as some buildings, but it feels the highest because it's very important. I stand to my full length, and uh, oh gosh, what am I gonna say? I know that I would say, but I'm gonna say, return to what's left of your homes and take care of the fires there before I bring down the wrath of the heavens upon you. Because I'm a talking doll. I can do whatever, right? They don't know.
a talking doll on top of a giant moose.
Yeah. It's only a 13.
Can
Okay.
I assist, or did I need to declare that ahead of time? I'm sorry.
I'll let you roll to assist. I believe you are supposed to do that ahead of time, but we're all still. Well, I'm rusty, and you're new to the system, so.
Sure. I just wanna take advantage of Born in the Saddle here,
Ooh.
and I'm gonna to add some intimidate, I think, or
Well, it has to be intimidate because
It has
that's
to be,
what
okay.
that's what Dorothy rolled.
yes. So I'm positioning Gentleman Moose so that you are like terrifying to look at.
Yeah.
Should we just make this a team check? With Viper also yelling from a rooftop?
Yeah, y'all can do that.
Yay.
That works. Okay, so Viper, roll your intimidate as well.
Team Not Really Cops is here to save the day.
Okay, well, 13 for me.
Okay.
So Madam V still the best.
Yeah. All right. So, let's see if this crowd has any kind of resolve modifier. My
And
guess.
what does Born in the Saddle do?
It means that I can't fail those,
Hmm.
as long as it's not a crit fail.
Right.
Then as long as the check DC is equal or less to your class level plus 20 or whatever.
Huh. Craftsmen actually do have resolve as a signature skill. I was not expecting that. Okay.
They thought of everything.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
They get an 18, but because of V's ability,
yeah.
Hey,
means that V counts as having a 19.
hell yeah.
Okay.
Whew, clutch.
Yeah. All right. So you were shouting at them to like go back to their homes, right? Or you'll bring down the wrath of the heavens upon them.
Shut up. Yeah.
Okay. So you get the feeling that like
Yeah, sure.
yeah, they don't necessarily buy the whole bring down the wrath of the heavens part, but they definitely believe that they might get shit stomped by a giant moose.
Moose. That's what I was talking about.
His nickname is Heaven.
Yeah.
So yeah, the crowd in front of Sergeant Mantha begins to like dissipate. They like throw a last couple of bricks at her and her squad, and they like
Well, we have them, so.
filter off down side streets and away.
Suckers, now I have a brick and they don't. It's a free brick. Hell yeah.
When I say brick, it's probably like the cobbles, to be clear. Like they're prying up chunks of the road.
Great.
You will live here, sir.
That's what happens in riots.
What do you got? Yeah.
So yeah, so they like disperse back towards the Crafters District. I'm gonna see whether or not they organize enough to actually like get a bucket line going and save their district.
That'd be cool.
Well, we know they have that resolve bonus, so
Yeah. Hmm. What would be the skill for organizing a bucket line? Probably impress, right?
Yeah, someone to be in charge.
Yeah, okay, there's probably a guild boss out there who's able, like...
Realizes, oh, my business might burn.
Yeah, exactly. And they have Impress 7. Maybe this is like... I don't know what the... There's got to be some sort of artisan who specifically makes buckets, right? In the same way there's, like, Cartwrights and...
yeah, there absolutely is, and I can't remember what they're called now. But yeah.
Neat.
Okay.
Bucket wench.
I think that's a Cooper. They make barrels and buckets.
Ah,
here.
okay. So yeah, I guess the Cooper boss gets a 27 on organizing a bucket line.
Oh, they were bored for this.
Only 5
Waiting
coppers per bucket.
Entire life.
Yeah, maybe this will up their sales as people realize, oh hey, buckets are good. They saved our homes. I should buy a bucket. Yeah, but with a 27, they like contain the fire between the outer walls and the like heavy stone blocks of the art center. So it's only the like north half of the merchant's quarter that burns to the ground.
Oh my god, these cops are pretty useless. I mean, even for cops.
Hey, Captain, do you want to start a bucket line, maybe? You want to maybe fight a fire tonight?
I think like once, like you don't even need to tell her that.
Mhm.
Once they are no like you can see they've already got buckets, and now they're no longer being threatened to be like beat to death and stabbed to death by the rioters. They get on like and start putting water on the start like at the south side of the merchant's quarter and start putting out the fires as best they can.
Okay, well, if
Well,
that's
friends, I'm gonna call this one a win.
yeah, we did our best, and we saved half of the quarter, and that's pretty good. That's an eighth.
To be clear, the merchant's quarter is not actually a quarter of the town, but yes, that works. And I think that might be a good place to stop for this evening. Y'all have successfully saved a good chunk of the city.
An 8. You
An
can
eighth.
say an 8.
You can say it.
I
It's
mean,
accurate.
I think, like, to be honest, you saved more than an eighth of the city because you saved
If we're only counting inside the walls, yeah.
Well,
The only thing that counts.
not even just that, but like, you saved the south half of the merchant quarter, and then you broke up the riot enough that they got their shit together and saved their own homes instead of just riding around in the next neighborhood over. So, like, the fire very easily could have spread to the Crafters District, the East Docks, and then, like, maybe made the jump over the wall or even over the river if things went real bad.
Well, cool.
So, you saved
Fire
like,
fought.
yeah.
So
Well
now we're
done.
now we're cops and firefighters. Do we get to be astronauts next session?
Who
The
knows?
triumvirate of little kid careers.
I mean, the grad students were marking papers on the stars.
Ooh.
Let's go to space. Let's go to space.
Okay. So, y'all take, let's see, 200 XP. Because you, like, questioned the dean and the professor successfully. You found out where you can find, or who was behind this whole mess, essentially, as far as you're aware, and where to find her. and also a little bit more information about who she is. And then you saved half the city.
We punched the fire.
Yeah.
Well, Viper did. Viper punched the fire, but like really good.
Yeah. So 200 XP for those shenanigans.
Almost to the next level. I like fast leveling. It's
Really? What's your XP at?
818.
And we're at 818. Next level is 1250. So
Oh, I thought it was 1,000 next level.
we should probably figure that out, huh?
Yeah.
They can just give us levels.
That's
Just
what
throw 'em out.
milestone XP is. I don't know. It's been a while. Here, take one.
Speaking of, when are we gonna have an ended adventure? And
We-
downtime, damn it!
You're gonna
If
have...
we just let the whole city burn, that probably would have been the end of the adventure.
So yeah, it's half of the what it normally would be. So normally it would be 2,500. So yeah, as Hadrian said, 1,250 is the next
Okay.
level. Yeah. All right. As for end of adventures, when you deal with decency, that'll be the end of the adventure. That'll be the end of this arc. Okay, so I've brought us back to the talk screen for us to close this out. Thank you everyone so much for joining us on this firefighting adventure. We will be back again next Friday at 6 p.m. EST to continue this quest to find out what the hell is going on with the Sparked in the city and why was the Giants Embassy targeted. I'm Austin Ramsey. I am your host for this evening and your GM. You can find me on Twitter at NotAnIn. That's NOTANINN. And if you want to find any of my game design stuff, you can find it at austin-ramsey.itch.io. As always, this stream is presented by You Don't Meet in an Inn, an actual play podcast about exploring obscure tabletop role-playing games with a diverse rotating cast. And you can find that wherever you get your podcasts. In fact, if you like Fantasy Craft, we did 3 episodes on that in a dungeon crawl format, if you want to try something of a different speed for the system. This evening, I've been joined by Hadrian.
Yep, that's me. I have been and will remain Hadrian. If you need your own personal Hadrian service, find me on Twitter at Hadrian. And
What services do you provide?
being Hadrian mostly.
You also
Sweet.
do art commissions. Don't
Yes,
you?
I do occasionally take art commissions, so if you're looking for some of that, hit me up. We might can work together.
Yeah. Also joining us has been Sasha.
Hey, I've been Sasha. Who knows if I will continue to be. You can find me on Twitter at Sasha_now. You can follow all of my game dev stuff at tcabbage.
Thank you. And last but never least, Christine.
Hi, I remain Christine for the moment. And yeah, I do You Don't Meet in an Inn, as Austin explained. And sometimes I pop in on Twitter to usually say inappropriate things.
All the best tweets on the Not an In account. We'll have
not true.
a dash
Not true.
C at the end, yeah. Yeah.
That's not true. The most passionate
Okay, so thank you everyone so much for joining us once again. And
Oh, one. Sorry, what? No, I'm talking still. If you would like to see any of the concept work or any art from this game, I have been posting pictures of Dorothy, and will probably continue to post Dorothy because she's fun to draw. But you want to go to the Twitter feed, and I'm probably going to start up an Instagram for them, but I'm making no promises because I am flaky.
That's cool though. It'd be really cool if you did that though.
That would be
Kind
rad.
of rad. It'd be kind of sick.
Get some
Okay.
Dorothy selfies
Oh god, yeah.
with the like
Okay,
dog
you-
filter.
you may now speak, Austin.
Thank you.
Buy or leave.
So, thank you everyone so much for joining us. As I said, we'll be back again next week. But until then, I just want to remind everyone, don't get sparked. See you later.